get to know you so well that I would know what you would think of something.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Like if something happened, I would say, you know, I know what Ken would say. If he saw this, you know, he'd say, blah, 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 blah. Right? I would know you so well.
Yeah.
So we can get to know Krishna that well. We can become so familiar with him that he can reveal himself to us so nicely that we know what he would think or what he would do in any particular circumstance. We come to know his character, his preferences, his likes and dislikes, his purposes. And so once we understand that, then we can say, well, look, Krishna, you know, I'd really like to have such and such a situation where I had this kind of a relationship with you in this particular form, and that would really satisfy me. I'd be really happy to do that, and you know, and knowing that what you want is da 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 da, then I can supply such and such a service to you in that context, and then you know that would be perfectly agreeable to me to do for all eternity. So let's do that. And Krishna say, okay.
Or could you tell Krishna, I'm not sure, you know better than I do.
Then you know what he's going to say?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not sure either.
Oh, really?
I know him. We have to take the initiative to open up this dialogue and to start this negotiation and to make the commitment.
Yeah.
You know, and as soon as we make a commitment to him, then he makes a commitment to us. But the thing about his commitments is they're eternal and they're always more than we ask for. This is my experience with Krishna. Krishna is so far out, his character is so wonderful, that his reciprocation is always more than we expect or more than we could ever ask for. You know, and our needs are really relatively simple. All we really need is a secure place to live with adequate resources, you know, and a relationship that makes us happy. And if we have that, it's like everything else is like negotiable, right? So when we get into a dialogue with Krishna, if we know ourselves, then we understand what to ask him for. And I tell you the truth, it took me about 20 years to get to know Krishna. But it took me 30 years to get to know myself and to be able to ask him for what I really wanted.
Yeah.
That was the hard part. One time when I was working with my therapist, she said something that had a really profound impact on me. She said, the main symptom of neurosis is that the person doesn't know what's going to make them happy.
Oh, yeah.
If you ask them, what, you know, you can have anything you want, what would make you happy? And they go, well, I don't know. You know, I think maybe I'd like this, you know. They're not sure, right? That's the main symptom of neurosis. A person doesn't know what to ask the world for, doesn't know what to ask Krishna for either. So we just take anything we think we can get. And that's neurosis. And so a person wanders from one situation to another, to another, to another, and none of them are really satisfactory. So that's like the story of our life here in the material world. We take what we think we can get instead of what we really want. Because we don't really know what we really want, or we're afraid to ask for what we really want because of what we think other people might think about us, or something like that. And that's neurotic. That's messed up. No? So what happens when we get to the higher levels of devotional service is that we enter into this dialogue with Krishna where we present him with what we really want. What would really make us happy? You know, like my ideal scene, my ideal lifestyle or relationship with Krishna is, you know, it's something that's very far out. You know, it's very unusual. I have unusual tastes, you know. So for me, it was very hard for me to break free of the, what's that called? Not the expectations, but the, like break the mold, you know? It's like Krishna is presented as in a certain way, or liking certain things and stuff like that, you know. But actually his tastes are much broader than that. I didn't know that though. So I was afraid to like ask Krishna for what I really wanted. You know, but he basically forced me to do it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he like forced his way into this area of my life that I really didn't want to allow him into. Because I was afraid he would be like upset with me. And it turns out he really, you know, he's like totally cool with it. Duh. So, you know, I didn't know that Krishna is so broad-minded, so open-minded, and so tolerant, and so understanding, and so compassionate, and so loving. I had been painted this picture of Krishna as being very judgmental, and very kind of closed-minded, and very kind of old-fashioned in a lot of ways, you know?
Yeah.
And he has that side, but he also has this completely open-minded, adventurous, wild, you know, this other side that's like open to anything. So it's like, whatever we want, whatever it is, whatever would make us happy for all of eternity, we can approach Krishna and ask him for it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's not going to reject us.
Yeah.
Look, we've been in this world for how many millions of lifetimes we don't even know, huh? And he hasn't rejected us yet.
No.
Even with all the nonsense that we've done, all the time we've wasted, and all the, you know, crazy ideas we've had, and this and that, you know, he still hasn't rejected us. So do you think that he's going to reject it? And he knows everything we've done, everything we think, everything, huh? And he still hasn't rejected us. Right. So is he going to reject us if we approach him and say, hey, Krishna, what do you think about, you know, this? Of course not. He loves us unconditionally, eternally, unlimitedly. His own idea of his role in our lives is to give us whatever we want. So if we ask him for what we really want, something that we would be happy with for all of eternity, he's going to consider his role to give it to us. Mm-hmm. And he will give it to us. You see? But if we want something that's impermanent, unsatisfying, conditional, temporary, he'll give us that too. Mm-hmm. But he won't give both, one or the other.
So that's why we're here.
That's exactly why we're here. We're afraid to ask him for what we really want.
Yeah.
What are these guys talking about? I don't know. Did you have any questions there, old web folks? Huh? I don't know what these guys are talking about. No, you're fine. You're just chatting away there, huh? Poor Baba is pouring out his heart, and you guys are just chatting away about something completely different. I know you're listening. I'm just giving you a hard time. What was the last thing I just said? Half the conversation. Yeah, probably. So, well, we were going to stop early, but then we got into this subject somehow or other, and that was about an hour and a half ago. No, almost 2 hours ago, and we're still here. So I guess people are making moves like they're headed towards the door. Freak out Acharya strikes again. Uddhava says, Jai! Yes, they can see it. It's projected on the wall 10 feet wide.
Tell them to be
Freak out! Oh, it's quite readable.
flex the camera a bit.
Yeah.
Well, regardless whether it can be seen or not, nothing should be said that it was seen or wasn't seen.
No.
Well,
Sharp edges.
they're speaking from their perspective as being established students, and here are all these newbies asking the same questions that they asked 6 months or a year ago when they first got involved with our teaching. You know, so it's the old boys club routine.
Yeah, that's a kind of a typical human algorithm, isn't it?
Yeah.
Everybody just put coalesces, and therein lies the separativeness, us versus them.